Mini episode 1199 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You'll want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Hello and welcome to FDH Lounge mini episode 1199. I'm FDH managing partner Rick Morris here with our Better Call Saul Season 5 preview. Here's our top 5 notes of interest heading into this big penultimate season. Number 5. Now we know that there will be one more season after this, and it becomes logical to expect a big time jump in one of these seasons. We're still about a half decade out from the start of Breaking Bad on the timeline, and if you expect us to be at or even into the mothership's timeline before the end of this series, there's a big leap coming at some point, unless the time span between episodes changes very drastically. Also, in terms of timelines, it'll be interesting to see if the writers put any Easter eggs into this season that reference the El Camino movie that came out since Season 4. It would seem very difficult since none of the characters here were still on the chessboard at the end of Breaking Bad, but if there was even a slight nod to the movie in terms of some of the scenery used this season, it would be tremendous. Number 4. Shiznit's going to get real with an entire season of Lalo Salamanca on board. Nacho is officially on borrowed time with this guy in the mix because there's no way that he can be an effective double agent for Gus with these eyes on him. And Gus's entire operation is going to face tumultuous times with this loose cannon roaming around. Both sides of the Albuquerque drug divide are going to face plenty of sleepless nights with Lalo in town. Number 3. The initial effects on Mike of drawing innocent blood are going to be fascinating. Whether as a crooked cop or a crooked ex-cop, Mike has always lived by a code, and that has always meant keeping civilians out of the line of fire. But being forced to kill Werner probably broke another piece of his soul, and you have to think he's probably going to be willing to cross even more lines for Gus. Number 2. For those of us who began to wonder if the journey was ever going to end, it's all good, man. We had a false alarm at the end of Season 1, and then again in late Season 3 when the name Saul Goodman first surfaced. The journey to this point was fun, but it would have been ridiculous if it stretched any further. Now we get to see Jimmy trying on the Saul skin in earnest. We know that Chuck never lived to see Jimmy as Saul, but Kim has, and while she enjoys Jimmy's dark side, she always flinches at the worst of it. She's going to do a lot of flinching from here on in. Number 1. Worlds collide as the road to Breaking Bad starts to take shape in earnest. Showrunner Peter Gould has indicated that Saul and Mike's stories will really overlap the rest of the way in the series, interjecting Saul into the Gus and Cartel shenanigans, which should be awesome. And you know what else will be awesome? Getting some Breaking Bad characters in here like Ed the Disappearer and even Hank and Gomi. Of course, the DEA agents are many years away from having a clue about Gus, but surely the Salamancas are already on their radar, and any scenes that these feds get with the cartel guys will be pure gold. It seems like there's a lot of gold on the near horizon, actually. The best shows like Breaking Bad build to a peak as they draw to a conclusion, and with this season serving as the beginning of the end, there's no reason at all to doubt that's what lies ahead. Thank you for joining us for this mini episode of the FDH Lounge.